Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. Stopping by and tuning in, and if you're new here, thank you for finding my channel and clicking on my video. I hope that if you haven't already subscribed, you guys consider sticking around and doing so because I would love to have you. All right, so this is the first budgeting video that I'm doing of the year and I'm pretty excited to get back into it. Routine feels really good for me, and if you have been following my journey or are interested in continuing to follow it, please please try to watch the entire video if you have time or if you have the interest, because I'm going to be explaining a lot of things that are happening and just a lot that's going on budget related. So this is my layout for Friday, or the week of, I guess the week beginning Monday, January 4th, but today is Friday the 8th, and I have some updates and some finances. Let me adjust my camera just a bit so we can see a little better. All right, so, where do I begin? I have so many notes, it's crazy. So today is my husband's payday, and hold on to your hats because you're probably gonna be like, what? All right, so he gets paid every week at his new job, and this was his total. Now, I am by no means being ungrateful or saying, you know, that's not good enough, but for our bills, it really isn't. So I'm just going to explain to you without being too specific what's happening with this job. So for those of you who are new here, my husband lost his job last year permanently. He was in his job for almost 26 years, and he did have the chance to move pretty far from where we live in a state that requires a plane ride to get back and forth. And after crunching the numbers and just thinking about the logistics of it, we both decided that it would be too expensive and just too hard on our family and everything for him to move so far away. So he is eligible for early retirement, which starts this June on his 50th birthday. So since he is a displaced worker, he likely, I say likely because until something is set in stone now or signed on the dotted line, I don't count anything anymore. But likely, since he's a displaced worker, through our state, he will qualify for education funding. So he is going to be going back to school, at least that's the plan, as of this May. In the meantime, you know, he had been looking for a job and he got this really great opportunity at a delivery service, and it's a package delivery service, so that's all I'm going to say about that. So he had to go through a pretty strenuous training period and even travel for that and become certified in all the different areas that they require. So he did pass all of his training, and they started him out at what's considered their seasonal rates. And so that was less than he would be making as a permanent delivery individual. But that was okay because, you know, you take baby steps sometimes, and until you get to your goal. And that's their process, so that's fine. But as things went on and, you know, things progressed throughout the holidays, he was off for COVID also, still hasn't gotten paid for that, which is really disappointing, you know, because it does come out of CARES Act money, so I'm not sure what the holdup is. So that's one aspect of it. And the other aspect of it is he has to call in every single morning prior to 7 a.m. to see if they need him for the day. So as you can see, $188 for 1 week's worth of work. They didn't need him very much, and that's how it's been going. And so even though this could turn into something, you know, very permanent and a better situation down the line, we cannot, you know, in the foreseeable future, get by with that. So he is going to be doing Grubhub. They've also decided that they are not going to keep most people, so there is the potential that he'll be getting laid off. If he gets laid off, I'm not sure what the answer it is, but if he leaves there on his own accord, he's going to be doing Grubhub. And if you guys know, you guys watched my videos last year, I delivered Grubhub to make extra money, and it was very, very, very worth it. And it really got us through, and, you know, some weeks I was making more money than at my regular job. So I do think that, you know, if you put in the hours, that it can be, the payoff can be really great, but also it depends on your area. So we might live in an area that is more conducive to that type of work than maybe somebody in another town. But just so you know, I do have several videos about my side income and how I made that money, and I do think it's very worth it. This year we're going to get hit hard with taxes. I also wanted to mention that. You know, we put money aside and then I used it for different things, and I just kind of went a little haywire toward the end of the year. I didn't give up on my budget. We were still paying our bills as scheduled and things, but I started to be less stringent and less sticking to the budget and the plan that I had created for us, and expenses came up, and you know, life. And so I think that we're still in a good place, but we have to make some changes so we remain in a good place, if that makes more sense saying it that way. So yeah, so my nephew did pay us $350. So he pays $175 a pay, which is every 2 weeks. But he did give me all the money in advance. And for those of you who are wondering about his budget situation, he did get his job back. He lost it temporarily due to COVID last year, and then he was reinstated. Speaking of reinstatements, my pay has gone back up to where it needs to be. And the last paycheck that I had, I'm just going to make some notes over here. The last paycheck I had was December 31st. So I didn't really want to create a whole budget layout for that because it wasn't part of this year. I did receive it in 2020. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it though, so more things start to make sense. So my pay on December 31st, 2020 was $15.15 and change. That's for 2 weeks worth of work. But you guys know I rarely put any decimals in here, so I like to keep things nice and round just for the sake of easiness when going through all this. So minus $250 went to our Home Depot payoff. And there's a lot that I want to talk to you guys about, what my plans are for our emergency fund. You know, whether I could even consider that an emergency fund after considering what I'm going to be doing with it. But, you know, I wanted to make sure that I was really transparent with you guys, because you saw me struggle to save, you saw me struggle to pay things off, and now I just want to be open about how we're handling that. So we had to get tires, unexpected and an unfortunate expense, but had to do it. Stella got sick. Stella is one of our 3 pugs. So her vet bill was $125, which brought us down to $790 with this check. $470 went to doctor bills. Now, I do have insurance, and my husband doesn't right now. He's going to be going on my insurance. The place where he works also never signed off on the fact that they don't offer him insurance at this point. So until my work got those papers, they did not allow me to put him on mine. So this is going to change a lot of things going forward. And then groceries for last time, we did $150 and brought us down to $170, and then gas was $60. And that brought us down to $110. And then we had a Walmart run and some prescriptions, which were actually more than $110. But I just took it out of like some residual money, and that brought us down to $0. So basically we had nothing left over. And last time we got groceries, the dog food was included in this amount. So we just kind of made a one-stop, and I just consolidated it into one. So that's what happened with December 31st paycheck. So now, with these 2 things going on, we have 188, I just can't believe that, and 350, and that gives us $538 for this week. So I'm going to write total. And I don't like how messy I'm doing this. I'm going to do better next time, I promise. Okay, so $538 for Friday, January 8th. So let's start with groceries. We're going to do $150 again. And we need some extra stuff, so I'm going to use all that. I'm going to keep the dogs separate at $25. I'm going to keep our gas at $60. That's for both of our cars. So let's do $538 minus $150. Minus 25, minus 60, 303. So I'm just going to write that under miscellaneous, even though I don't have a designation for that money right now. 303. Now, I have no idea at this moment what I'm going to be doing with that money, but with the way things are going, you know, I just don't know. And, you know, I just, you guys know me, you know, I take things day by day sometimes, and you know, this is all my notes, I'm sorry. I take things day by day and I try to keep a positive attitude about stuff, but honestly, it does get tiring. It does. But when I kind of get in those, like that funk or that mood, you know, I try to then put my mindset in a different way to think about gratitude and all the things we have to be grateful for, and just the fact that we're here and we have problems to deal with is a blessing. You know, so many people struggled with 2020, and I think we were really blessed to get through it. So I really tried to turn that mindset around, because if I kind of hang out there too long, I think that it causes, you know, it can cause depression. It causes anxiety. I mean, I suffer from anxiety. I don't know if any of you watching do, but it's something that I really suffer with. And a lot of it is a combination of me being a control freak and having to have things work out and having to know what we need to do and have answers all the time. And when you're a control freak and you find yourself in the midst of several situations that you don't have control over, it can wind your anxiety up to 100, which sucks. But yeah, so that's kind of why I try to do things to distract myself, do things that are positive, creative, distracting. You know, I do a lot of reading now, and of course, Netflix series, you know, things like that, like everybody does. But yeah, it's just, ugh, I tell you, some days, guys. So anyway, so that's our situation for that. I have a couple other things that I need to talk to you guys about, and it affects my emergency funds. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is maybe, you know what, I'm just going to push ahead. This is just going to be a long video, and it's just going to be like that. So for our Christmas sinking fund, zero. We have zero in everything. And like I said, we did some different expenses, money went into different places, and you guys weren't here for the whole budget in December of 2020. But the way that this week has gone for my husband is absolutely nothing new. So as you can imagine, we just had to go through the savings. Now, of course, we use Christmas money for Christmas gifts. The dogs, we haven't had money in for a while. But the savings, you know, we did have a little bit left, or we had somewhat left, and we had to use it to live. And that was more than a month. I think that I've been gone from doing budgeting videos for more than a month. So unfortunately, this is a situation we find ourselves in. So for emergency fund as of today, we have, what do we have? I don't know. Oh gosh. All right. We had roughly 18,000, but we had a little bit extra because the Capital One is, the savings account is considered a high yield interest savings. But I had to take $1,650 from here. I didn't have to, I chose to, because I have so much going on. And so many plans for, you know, our future and what we're doing. So 18,000 minus 1,650, is that right? Yeah, is 16,350 remaining. Oops, Yeah, that's right. So that's what we have in our emergency fund right now. Now, I wanted to keep this at $18,000, and you may be thinking, why the random number? Why $18,000? That's because that is roughly my salary. Well, my salary now is about $30 a month times 6 is $18,180. My goal was to have 6 months of my salary saved up in case of a rainy day, in case one of us were to lose our job again, which is happening. I can't believe it's happening, but it's happening. But thank God my job is pretty solid right now, and hopefully it stays that way. Of course, we never know, but hopefully it stays that way. So Home Depot, let me give you guys a little snapshot of what happened there. So Home Depot, I talked to you guys about this. We did some massive home improvement, and it was all stuff that needed to be done, and we had to buy some extra supplies. And the reason why I'm not mad about this is because my husband was able to do almost all the labor except the carpet installation for our steps and hallway. So we saved a ton of money just by him being able to do things. And on the days he wasn't working, you know, he was doing other stuff and trying to get our basement done. And this is all going to add value to our house. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think that it's a good investment, I should say. So we took our stimulus money, which was $1,200, and took that out of Home Depot, which brought us down to $1,900, and then $1,650 from our emergency fund, and that brought us down to $250. And then as you can see, let's scale back, and you can see I took $250 out of the December 31st paycheck. So minus $250, pay. And I paid that off. So now we don't owe anything else to Home Depot, which is a blessing, and it alleviates, you know, what we owe every month and kind of what we're facing. And I am able to concentrate on some other things in life now. And one of those major things is my student loan situation. So I hate how dark it is over here. You know what? Let's go back this way. Ugh, my lighting. It's really overcast here today too. So one of the things that I had talked to you guys about in a previous video, the totality of our debt, I think I called it, was my student loan situation. And so as of today, because interest compounds every single day on this dang thing, is, oops, oh gosh. So 765, 82 plus $15,986.15. So what we're facing as of this summer, I think as of June, is my student loan payment going up from like under $100 to just about $300, because I went on what they call a hardship, and they reduced my payment because my husband was going through all this job situation and everything. So it's been under $100 for quite some time. And I knew this day would be coming, but I just cannot afford $300 a month in student loans. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why do you have student loans at your age? When's the last time you went to school? I did do some master's work, but I explained all that in the totality of our debt video, and I was very honest and forthcoming about it because I want you guys to know that my goal here is to just be very transparent so my videos make sense to you. But what I'm going to do is, now some of you will agree with this and applaud it, and some of you will not agree with this and be critical of it. But what I'm going to do, just for my own peace of mind, is I am going to pay off today $4,220.33. That will bring it down to $11,762.82, which tomorrow will be a different amount because interest compounds every single day. So that is my payoff amount today, $4220.33. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that money out of the emergency fund and I'm going to put it on there. I have to do this in preparation for a couple different reasons. I don't know what's going to happen with my husband's job situation between now and June when he gets his retirement. In the meantime, I have to prep ourselves for a couple different things, you know, potential unemployment, him just going on Grubhub. And if he goes strictly on Grubhub, that's great for us. I'm all for it. This time I have to take taxes out every single week again, like I was, and I was saving, and then I just didn't allocate that money properly. So I also have to prepare ourselves for a big tax bill come the end of this month or early February, whenever we get our taxes done. Because even though Grubhub will probably be a wash, because we usually get a refund too on top of everything, and you can claim mileage and things like that, the thing that's probably going to get us is the unemployment that he collected last year. So unfortunately, in my state, I don't know if that's every state. I never claim to know, you know, what the ins and outs are beyond my front door. But in my state, you have to pay taxes on the unemployment. So we have to be prepared for that. Now, whether or not we're going to end up on a plan or be able to cover it, if we can cover it with the rest of our emergency fund, I'm okay with that. Because you know what? From then on, it'll be a clean slate and we'll start over. We've started over before and it's worked out for us. I'm not afraid to start over again. You know, sometimes in life you just have to do that. And honestly, it's never too late as long as you have a plan. And so that's the thing. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, a big chunk is coming out of here, but I think in the long run, it's the right decision. And whether it is or not, it's a decision I made and I'm going with it. So yeah, we'll see how it pans out. I don't know. But anyways, that is the complicated look and the multifaceted look at our budget for the past few weeks. An explanation of the past maybe 6 weeks or so, just to let you know and bring you up to speed on what we went through and what we're facing. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy watching videos like this. I enjoy seeing what other people are doing and how they're handling different situations and how they organize their bill payments. That is just strictly up my alley. I love it. And I hope that you guys do too. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. And like I said, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you stuck around and did so. And I'm also doing a giveaway. I hope that you have made your enter me comment. If you haven't already, you can still do that until next Friday. And good luck to everybody who decides to enter. So thanks again, guys. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope I see you on my next video. Take care.